Okay, so we're back for the second part. I kind of chopped the video last time, but we are almost done with the bodice, and I've started the fifth and final round before we join. So you can see it is definitely not going to be a snowflake, not lying flat whatsoever. So this is how it starts to look on this side. So I haven't done this half of the wing. I've just gone over the bodice part. What you do is you go over the row with another row of single crochets, and then when you get to this point with this motif, you chain 3, and then you go into this middle picot. There's 5, so the third one is going to be the midpoint, and you're going to put in a single crochet, 4 chains, and then we're going to go back into this loop, single crochet, 4 chains. So we're going to make this like tripod picot, this like 3-pronged picot. Chain 3 and then anchor back into that original like space, this one here. So I don't know, I just made this little thing up, but it's like this picot on top of picots with little ones, so it's like a 3-dimensional thing. So we have our 2 loops that we're now going to work into to finish off. We want them to look like this. So what you do is you put 2 half double crochets, so you loop it like you would a double, but you only have that one finishing kind of stitch. So I would recommend you learn how to do those. So we're going to put 6 stitches followed by 3 chains, and then the same thing on the way down, 6 stitches. So we do 4 double crochets and then 2 half doubles. So 3, 4 doubles, and then 1, 2 half doubles. So we do the same thing on this second one. You do 1, 2 half doubles, and then 4 doubles, separated by 3 chains at the top. So we got 2, 4, 5, 6. And then you want to make sure you anchor back at the bottom. I didn't say that for the last one, but always anchor, because it really keeps your stitches from popping back up. Like, it really keeps these guys from spreading all the way up here. All right, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this one, we're going to anchor just back into that space, the big archway here, with the slip stitch. Chain 3, and then you find that middle picot. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can change the size of this too. You can do 3. If you want it smaller, I like the 4. Then you do the 3 to go back down, and then anchor into that. So yeah, it's kind of a weird thing I just made up. I encourage you to do whatever designs you want on the side. All right, so we're back to this point. You do the half double, so you do a half, you don't know, by wrapping like you're gonna do a double, but then you pull all 3 of them together. So as with the double, you wrap, you pull it through the wrap, and then you go through the top too. So I would recommend you learn the stitches. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So yeah, I was saying last time, these are good gifts for people that you know that craft, or like older people that like to collect the antique kind of crochet look stuff. Yeah. So we have 2 of these, and then we're done with the top half. And so for this skirt design, I'm gonna do a little bit of a different design than these, just because I'm gonna mix it up and make it a different kind. And I'm going to use the same pretty much model, like the same setup, but I'm gonna try to mimic this Angel, which I've also done a different video for. I'm gonna do this type of skirt. So we'll see how it goes. As I've said before, I am not really into making the same thing over and over again, and I always like to mix it up and change and experiment. So, all right, so we're gonna anchor here into this space. 1, 2, 3. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this motif thing anywhere. It's very textured, having like a layer of crochet over another layer. It's definitely a unique design. I don't even know if that was for, but whatever. All right, we are done. 1, 2, 3. Anchor back into the first space. So we are finally done. This thing is got a life of its own already. All right, so you can barely see it, but you have these 2 blank sides that we made to be our bodice. You want to fold in half. You can kind of see the way this is gonna look, so that there's like more of a V shape with, oh boy, I did these different when I wasn't showing on camera, but these I did a little differently and I didn't love how they came out, so just ignore that. This is me experimenting. It should look like mirrored, obviously, the designs, but that's okay. So you have this kind of UV kind of shape, a lot more flare. The sides have more flare. You have a perfect spot for the head right there. So I would say that's a success. We're going to join now in the round. I am going to pick up this mass of yarn. And so to connect, what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch or chain 1, and then we're going to do another round of the single crochets into each of these top stitches. And then once we get to the end, we're going to chain 1 and then connect to the other side. So there's going to be like 1 spacer on each side of the bodice. You can increase that if you want like a rounder, or sorry, if you want like a bigger. Right now this is pretty small. We have these 2 sides. So we're going to chain 1, but if you want like a bigger bodice, like a bigger waist, feel free to do that. So we're going to go around this side as well with all the single crochets. And yeah, so I said before, you can really freestyle, make your own design up for the skirt, or you can follow along. I think any of those like bauble kind of patterns with like the stars, there's tons of crochet videos that you can look up.